Good day to everyone and happy Thanksgiving, especially those who are watching us from the United States of America. Thanksgiving Day is today, and it's a day that we stop and celebrate and appreciate and give thanks and also serve. So I say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And thank you for joining out of your busy schedule from wherever you're joining in the world. And this morning, as always, on our Bridge to Freedom module, we're going to be talking about publish to your horn. Toot your horn. How do you toot your horn? There's so many ways that you do that. If you want to grow in your career for sure, it is so important to get the word out there and let people know what you're doing and how what you are doing will help others. That's the catch. It has to be for the betterment of others. It cannot just be about you. So this is a great way to get better as you grow as a professional. Articles, social media posts, short videos, all of these are ways that you're churning out your content. And you're churning out your content based on your preparation. You don't just send anything out until you've seen what it is all about and what you're trying to get around. And I know you're thinking, you're saying, you know what? I can't figure all this out by myself. That is why the Bridge to Freedom group is for you and I to come together and be able to dialogue and see exactly where are we in our journey, how can we together build, and how can we learn from one another. So it's not enough to just talk about your profession, guys. No, it's not enough to just talk about what you do. It's important to talk about yourself. If someone is interested in becoming an attorney, for instance, or working for a law firm, I mean, they need to know that they will be working and people would need their services. All of those things are what you do. Publishing and tooting your horn, it's all in the work, WORK, the work that you put in. There's work that you have to put in. You cannot be afraid. You cannot be afraid. You put in the work. Once the work is put in, then you're able to develop a level of confidence that makes you want to test out that knowledge, that makes you want to serve on that level of what you believe that you've equipped yourself. And I'll use myself a case in point. I've grown to be so big on strategic volunteerism. And that was from way back in my corporate America. I knew that there were so many things that I was interested in learning, so many things that I wanted to share with people. And I know I have my MBA, but that wasn't going to be the only thing that would get me into the rooms that I need to get into, that would get me into programs that I need to get into. It took a lot of intentional preparation, mentorship, serving, volunteerism, just being there to say, you know what, how can I serve? And truly meaning it, not just saying, how can I serve? And you just all about what you're going to get. Guys, when you are building to toot your horn and to publish, you're going to be doing a whole lot of things that the only person that it might make sense to most of the time is you. Some things you would do and people won't be able to understand how does it fit into your journey. But relationship currency, intellectual currency, cannot just be gotten in the classroom. It would not just be in your 3-letter designation after your name or your 2-letter designation. It's going to be beyond all of that. It's going to be about you being intentional about what you have to do, how you want to bring that brand of you saying, you know what, this is something I'm proud of, because you don't publish what you're not proud of. You don't go near publishing at all if you're not proud of it. So, how are you going to sell yourself? How am I going to sell myself? Yes, those answers you will get through the Bridge to Freedom program. But just to give you a snippet, do you want to be successful in your career, or do you want to be a great father, a great husband, a great wife, a great professional? How are you going to outsell your friends and family members who maybe are used to you being Remy the banker, now Remy the mentor, now Remy the community leader? It takes a minute for them to embrace and to understand. And how do they understand? What they will do to understand is your consistency, your ability to build, your ability to show, not just to talk about it, not just to write about it, to show them, to let your works and your ways emulate what you're saying you are. That's going to warm them up to what you're building. And as you're doing all of this, if you and I are not going to deceive ourselves, it won't be easy. It would not be easy. You might need a coach. You might need an accountability partner. Again, Bridge to Freedom offers that platform for you. Find out what the market is looking for. First of all, I am an educator. I teach. So I am always in the presence of all these great young leaders who are up and coming, and they are full of brilliant ideas, brilliant work, and they can do the work. But it has to be that they found out that this is what they want to do. How do you find those things out? For me, how I found mine out was having that strategic volunteerism, being able to raise my hand and saying, yes, I can help you. I can serve. Show me what I need to do. Not being afraid to be vulnerable, not being afraid to say, oh, Remy has the accent. Her name is different. She's going to look different when she walks in the room. Getting beyond that. And I know you're hearing me and you're saying, all of these are real, but I don't know how to do it alone. I just know how to get the intellect out. But guess what? Emotional intelligence is very alive and well. That is something you're going to need to tune into most of the time. A lot of what you and I do is beyond the content in our mind. People don't even know what you're carrying when they see you, but they've made up their mind maybe 80% of how they want to, where they want to put you. They want to box you here and there. They're already in their head. They've put you in a compartment. Yes, and that's human nature. There's nothing we can do about that. But when you toot your horn, when you create platforms where you can share what you can do for others so they know that you're all about them, even though you are going to be building your own brand, they too can build their brand because everybody is a unique creature for themselves. There's no two people that are alike. I've said that over and over. So if you're starting out, it is important to get feedback from people. You can't just think that everything you're doing is perfect. Get feedback. And if you have feedback for people, it's okay. Give them constructive feedback. Let them know that, yes, this is what went well. This is what can be done differently. It doesn't mean that you're hating. It doesn't mean that you're criticizing them. But if you have a word of recommendation on what they can do, it's always helpful for you to make that recommendation and say, you know what? This is what I think you can do. It doesn't mean they're going to jump at it. It doesn't mean they won't feel like you're not being fair and all that. But don't worry. If your heart is pure and clear and all you're giving is feedback, then you shouldn't worry. If give it in a way that you would want to have somebody give you feedback, then you will be in good shape. So I've just posted, someone just pinged me. I just posted the Bridge to Freedom link that you need to log in and join. At 12 noon today, we're going to have a live chat. And for those who are members of the group, they can come in. We're going to talk together and be all about what exactly are we looking to accomplish? Because it's not about what I want to do or what a particular group of people in the group wants to do. It's about what each and every one of us want, and what our wants are would not be the same at every level. Everybody on the group would not be on the same level. There are some areas that you already have figured out and you're like, I'm in. And there's some areas you're still figuring out. Here, you have a platform whereby you can do that. So it's just a place where you can come and be able to understand what is going on. Today, we have a lot of goodies for you. So if you can make time, join us. It's going to be just 30 minutes. Don't be afraid to try new things. That's what makes you distinguished and distinct. Try new things and understanding that if you don't try new things, how would you know if it works? And how would you be able to toot your horn? When you're tooting horn, you're being loud, not in a negative way. You're being loud, you're showing what you're doing, and people are following you and they want to be like you. They want to learn some of the demonstrated best practices. So you've got to figure out how to constantly fuel yourself, how to fuel yourself with a lot of content that will make you to know what to say and how to say it, so that those people who see you as a go-to resource will always find value in your conversation. It doesn't mean that you'll have their answers. No, a lot of what I need, people don't always have the answers for me. But by me engaging with an individual who I already see as a go-to, a mentor, a friend, an accountability partner, their way of thinking will gel with what I'm thinking. So they might not hit on the nail and say, here is the answer of what you need to do. But by the time they bring their own thought information, thought leadership into it. I get it. And that's what you're going to get in the Bridge to Freedom. You're going to get it. So do not be afraid to try new things. You're probably wondering, how can I commit myself to something new? Just like you commit yourself to waking up in the morning and going to work, or waking up and doing your chores, same thing. Put it on your calendar. Make it something that you do consistently. If you don't do it consistently, guys, it's going to be tough. And it's not easy to be consistent in the behavior. You know why? Because that's what makes you stronger, and have a stronger brand. So there's a way that you lackadaisically don't want to be consistent, but that's the secret. That's your unique source. That's that sauce that you need to develop. Whatever make you tick, whatever make you to have passion about what you're doing, whatever makes you to feel like, you know what, even if I'm not paid to do this job, I will do it because I enjoy. Take a look at the amazing success story from all over the world. There's success stories all over. Step back and look at your own success story. I'm sure you have been successful in more than one or two or three things. Even if all you have been successful is in one thing, same method. What did you do that made you to get to that level? Publishing and tooting your horn is an ongoing thing. There's no such thing as, oh, I've arrived at success. Success is a journey. If I ask all of you watching and those who will watch later and say, what does success mean to you? You probably would say different things and no answer will be wrong. But guess what? You have to be able to say something based on what you have experienced, what you have seen, and what you have learned. So all of those things are important. But how do you learn? Don't leave your job to the wall. Do not leave your job to the wall. There are many jobs out there. They are out and they're just glamorous. But again, it might not fit you. There could be a lot more people out there who can do the same thing. If it's not you, find what is you. Find what is you. And the best way to find what you love to do is serving others greatly, serving others with intentionality and with the true heart of getting results for them. When you do that, it's going to be easy for you to eliminate what you don't like to do. So as you're building your own brand, as you're trying to toot your horn, you would have seen what you didn't like. Again, I pick on myself again. In corporate America, I was one of those who would strategically volunteer being a vice president. Even when I was an officer, I derived joy in just being able to give back to people. I derived joy in sharing my platform. And my platform then was, I was working for one of the top 5 banks. And I knew that there's so much information that I was sitting on. There's so much knowledge. There's so much exposure. There's so much experience. There's so many things that I see that fall in my laps and where I volunteer. I knew all of those cannot be just about me. So I ensured that I strategically volunteered so that whatever I have to share, even though that particular volunteer task might not be directly related to what I am carrying to share, but it gets my food into the door. It gets my food into the door. Who is going to get your food into the door? Who's going to help you get your food into the door? I was having some coaching sessions with some of my mentees the other day, and they said, we appreciate mentorship. We love mentorship, but we want also to inch it up. Who is that person that will mention your name in the room? Guess what? When you toot your own horn and you're consistently doing what you're supposed to do, and you can also feel like, oh, you're doing your best is never going to be enough, but that's all you can do. But you're going to keep building at it. You keep receiving feedback better. When you know you're doing your best, when somebody gives you a feedback, you don't take it personal because you already know that you are doing your best. But the feedback will help you to quickly say, you know what, let me change this narrative. Let me tweak it a little so it can address whatever that feedback is. That maybe you might be simple. It might be simple. It might be that, oh, your voice is this and that. But Bridge to Freedom will give you that feedback. That is where we are. We are all going to learn from each other. We have ideas in our heads and things that we want to do. You cannot do it until you put it down on paper. You cannot do it until you have a group of people. It might be 1, 2, 3 that you can bounce things off of so that you don't just go raw from your idea to the world. There might be some fine tuning. Just like a baby doesn't just get born today and then they start walking tomorrow. No, it takes a process. It takes time and all of that. And all those processing and grinding and timing, that is where Bridge to Freedom fits in. This is a passion-led group that has been created so that all of us can learn together. Nobody is there as I saying that I know it all, but together we can bring our genius to play. We can bring our ideas to bear, and making sure that we're tooting our horns as we go around doing what we need to do. You will always want to toot your horn when you know that you have done your best. And you will always want to toot your horn when you know that your best is going to advance other people's best, or is going to advance other people finding themselves. A lot of times, things that I do generally, it's not always something that comes to results today. It might never come to result till tomorrow or the next day, but passionately it's done, and a seed is being planted somewhere. When it germinates, you don't know. But when you're constantly in that frame of mind of tooting your own horn and ensuring as you toot your horn, then you are building for the future of others. You're building a community. You're not just building for yourself. Your services will be needed. For sure, I can assure you, your services will be needed. If you need an example of how this works, take a look at the amazing success story from all over the world. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, so many people in your home country that you can relate to, Dangote, and all of these great men and women who you constantly seeing things. Zuckerberg, I mean, I can go on and on and on. They didn't just start overnight to be all that. They started with a process. They started with something that they had as a vision for the bigger future. And they started working one step at a time, and they started showcasing what they are doing, showcasing through maybe the impact that they have achieved in somebody's lives, in somebody's business. So what we are saying is that in this Bridge to Freedom program, it's not just going to be about self. It's going to be about you being self-full. You're going to be full to know where your strength is. And you're going to be able to be full enough to know where you need some assistance. And as we do that, all of us will always need assistance. We always need a support system. Trust me, I know that. If your vision is bigger than you and it's not about selfishness, you cannot carry it out alone. End of sentence. You can't. You cannot. And social media has been created as a platform that we can all leverage. But be warned, social media too can be a platform if you don't prepare well enough and you don't correct whatever feedback you get. It might not get your brand out the way you want it. So publish, toot your horn. That's what it's all about. You've got to do that. If you don't toot your horn, nobody will do it for you. I can guarantee you, nobody will do all the horn tooting for you if you do not do it. You are the only one who can do it, and you can do it. You're already doing the work. It's just the ability to do it and make it important. The importance of getting the word about you. How can you help others? Who are those others? That's your target niche. Who are those others you're trying to help? You cannot help the whole world. You cannot. And we cannot save the world if we can't even at least have a system in saving ourselves. I believe that you can be building yourself and be building others. I'm not from the school of thought that you have to be fully built before you reach out. You can do things that other people where you are now is an envy to someone who wants to be there. You might think, oh, you're not there yet, but see that what you're carrying, that you're so full and passionate about, willing to give and share, it's going to come back to profit you. The profit might not come right this minute. When people start nonprofit, I have a nonprofit organization. Nonprofit operation, people think is about going out there to make money. No, it's about service. The first few years, you're going to self-fund, of so many years, you're going to self-fund. But when you're self-funding and reaching out to your network, you don't see it as a problem because you know you're solving a problem that's greater than you and that is not about you. So you're easily going to be able to go to someone and let them share the vision of what you're doing, and then they come. So when you're tooting your horn, you're serving your ways to strategic places where people can see exactly what value do you bring. Why should I care? Why should I care about Bridge to Freedom? Is it another one of those programs to showcase an individual? No, Bridge to Freedom is different, guys. It is clearly not a platform to showcase a particular individual or group. Is a place where we want you to be able to come as you are, and let's build together. Let's share together. Let's have specific career projects. Let's have specific enterprising project. Let's have specific, whatever that project is. It might be family, it might be work-life balance. Let's have that, and let's show each other. Let's see how we can show each other how to do it. I work-life balance. I was in corporate America and a wife, mother of three, and to the glory of God, those are success stories today. Those three are also paying it forward and doing what they need to do. A happy birthday shout out to my son who has a birthday today. I adore with text giving and so many other great work that he's doing. So this is what I'm saying, that you as an individual, work-life balance is a possibility. You just have to learn the how. I said in the other videos that guess what? You've got to put your agenda on your calendar, every of it, whether it be the family, the soccer, the ballet, the lunch, the breakfast, the cleaning time, the cooking time. If it's not on there, you will not know when you are free. And when you overbook and you book something on an important day, maybe a game, a child's game that they're expecting you to be, and you have something that is so critical on the business angle, you just kind of like, what do you choose? No brainer, family first. We say it, but do we act it? At Bridge to Freedom, you will know how to do that, because people respect what you respect. They respect exactly what you respect, and they know what order of priority your life is. They will follow suit. Remember, it's your life, it's my life, and we're moving it forward. We're not trying to live anybody else's life. We're looking to live our own life fully the way we know how, and continually adding strength to it, joining and just being able to learn from others and make it bigger and better globally. This is a global village. Everything we do now is a click of a button. You could find yourself in the UAE. You could find yourself in Africa. You could find yourself in any different countries in Africa that we have. And of course, in America, all of the states. So this is so real that you tooting your horn starts with you building your content. You're already building your character. Otherwise, you won't even think of creating a brand, because it starts with all about you, your character, your consistency, and your commitment is what's going to help you to be able to build that brand that will help you to want to publish and toot your horn. And tooting your horn is not about pride, it's not about showing off, it's about showing up and letting people know how you can serve them and how you have served others, and seeing how you can help them pay it forward. So that is what we're talking about today. Please join us at 12 noon for the live chat. I'm looking forward to those of you who are in the Bridge to Freedom group, and we're going to have a nice live chat at 12 noon. So join us. Thank you again for being part of this Bridge to Freedom program today. And of course, same time, God willing, on Tuesday, we will be here live and direct to talk about other topics. Take care. And I ask that you will have reasons to thank somebody today, someone who has been there for you. Be able to appreciate them. Thanksgiving is every day, but in America we have a special day dedicated for Thanksgiving, where you bring your families and friends together and you're able to count your blessings and name them one by one. I do hope that today is a great day for you, and that you enjoy your family and you balance work-life balance. That's important. Your priorities has to be clear, and people will support your priorities, especially if it's yours, it's your life. So once again, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day, and we'll see each other next week on Tuesday. And join us at 12 noon if your schedule permits. It will be a quick half an hour live chat in the Bridge to Freedom family. And the link is here, so you can, I'm going to repost it very quickly. And you can just join, and it's free. So I hope to see you there. Bye.